everybody, Harold here. This is the fifth in my video on data cleaning, comparing SQL, Pandas data frames, and Power BI, Power Query. I said my last one on handling blanks. I'd go over COALESCE, so let me do that. Uh, this one shouldn't take too long, and I really like this one, so let's get started. Over here in SQL, I have a create table statement. I'll put this in my GitHub repository along with the rest of the code. It's creating a table with 4 columns: name, cell phone, work phone, home phone. You might recognize the values, the names I inserted in there. Uh, there are nulls throughout there. And I created the table and I select everything. Select star from DBO, AC coalesce. And you see John has a cell phone, a work phone, and a home phone. Paul, when we gave Paul the form, he only listed the work phone and the home phone. George just gave his home phone. Ringo gave his work phone. And if you know who Pete is, we have no idea what his phone number is anymore. So what we wanted to do was create a new column. People wouldn't have to go through all these. They just, we'll call it primary phone, and it will select the first phone number that the person gave on their form. So for John, we'd want a primary phone to be 999. Paul, we'd want it to choose this one, 555. George, we'd want it to choose the 123 number, and Ringo back to the 555. This must be Abbey Road. They all listed as their work phone. Looks like they all live together. Well, one of them live apart. John's the only one with a cell phone. So we want primary phone to pick the first non-blank, non-null value it comes across as it scans these rows. So in SQL, we can just say from our select star, well, we'll select all of it and then we'll add this primary phone column. So enter comma, and we want to coalesce, and we just list our columns: cell phone, work phone, in the order we want. You could switch the order up if you wanted to. Work phone and home phone. And if none of those are there, we will just want it to say lost, a lost beetle. And let's give that an alias as, say, primary phone from DBO AC coalesce. That looks good. Let's run that. Okay. John gave his cell phone first. Primary phone is the cell phone number. Paul, he didn't give a cell phone. He gave us his work phone number. Primary phone is his work phone number. George only gave his home phone number. George's primary phone is his home phone number. Ringo, it skipped cell phone, picked work phone, and there was null there, so it did the same thing. Gave the correct number, which was his work phone number, and nobody knows where Pete is, so his phone number is just totally lost. So that's how you do it in SQL. Pretty easy. Let's go over to Pandas data frame and our Jupyter notebook. So I have, as I created a table in SQL, I created a data frame in Pandas. You've already imported Pandas as PD. To do a data frame and use the null values, you have to import NumPy as MP. I'll put this in my GitHub repository also. That allowed me to insert these NP, not a number of values, to create nulls in my table, in my data frame. I just ran that. Let me cut these real quick. Everything below it. Oh, Okay, so you ran that. Then we have to say, we'll call this one fab4 equals pandas data frame and our dictionary up here is beetles. So fab4 equals pd.dataframe beetles. You can run that. And let's do a fab4 and run that. There is our nice data frame, just like it was in SQL. What do we do about these? How do we coalesce this one? If I want to do the coalesce in pandas, I could say fab4. Let's create a new column for primary phone, just like we did in SQL. Primary phone. And that equals fab4 uh, fab4 BFILL. It's a new one for you. Fab4 dot BFILL or backfill. That was an argument in FILLNA. Now it is its own method. And one of its arguments is, well, data frames have axes, so we can pivot. So we'll say axis equals 1. This will fill it across the rows. If you put axis equals 0, it's going to fill it down the columns. So bfill axis equals 1, and then we want to exclude that first column of name. We don't want to pick anything from there, so we'll throw in an iloc with the index of everything and then 1. So stop. I think everything after the first column, basically. Don't coalesce the name column. Start with the cell phone column. Coalesce from there. So that should work. And now we say fab4. Okay, the John, cell phone first, primary phone, cell phone. Paul, work phone first, primary phone, work phone. George, home phone first, primary phone, home phone. Ringo, only phone given, work phone, primary phone. Pete gave us nothing. We didn't get the lost here. I'll, we just replaced that, and I'll do it in a second. I did want to show you really why I like this so much. So if I set axis equals 0, and then run my fab4, well, it's going to fill columns. So see, if I say, you can go the other way, ffill, that fills forward instead of back. So, you can change its axis. And ffill that way. So they're all going to be that number. Or there's even a better one called interpolate. If you like to fill in missing number values, you should check it out. You can put statistical formulas on them to see how it calculates, like linear or over time. So it'll give you the best estimate of a numerical value. That's a little bit beyond this. If anybody's interested, let me know and I could do a video on it. So let's just take it back to bfill. Axis equals 1. Run that. And we have Fab 4, run that. So to get rid of Pete's lost, when I switched the forwards and backs around, I somehow committed that phone number to Pete. Uh, anyway, to get rid of that, you would just do Fab 4 primary phone dot string dot replace. And you want to replace, in this case, 999-8675309 with uh, lost. And we'll run that. And I'll show lost. So that's how we do it in Pandas. Real quick, let's go over to Power BI. And I'm going to tell you, this is a case where Power Query is not your friend. You could do it in Power Query. It involves add column, custom column. And you got to name it, and then you start typing something like table, add column. And you can do a crazy if statement, case statement. And supposedly there's a kind of a coalesce operator, question mark. I really couldn't get this to work. It created expandable tables and couldn't even tell what they were. There is a better way to do it here, and that is in Power BI itself. So let me drag this over. Got our table here. Got a table view. So we've got our table here in table view. What we want to do is add a coalesce column. So we'll just say new column. And we'll say primary phone equals coalesce, coalesce and DAX 2. First value, table 1 cell phone. Up, committed too soon, ugly yellow message. So table 1 cell phone, work phone, and home phone. Or if we don't like that, I hit enter again. If you don't like that, or if none of those are there, lost. And then close our parentheses, commit that. We need to close our quote marks. And I think we got too many parentheses. And there you go. 99 cell phone, work phone first, work phone, home phone first, primary phone. Ringo gave the middle one, still works. And Pete again is lost. So that's not too bad. I think I really like the Pandas the best, except I had to write another statement to replace the ones with all nulls. But that's how you do coalesce in SQL, Pandas data frames, and Power BI, this time using DAX. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like it, subscribe. I will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.